Hi everyone. Well, Happy New Year to all our followers. And it does look like the weather has got a New Year's resolution going on here. So it does seem at the moment things will be changing from this very unsettled, wet and windy weather to some much colder, drier, but really quite settled weather as we move in towards next weekend and beyond. Beyond that, it could potentially get even colder still, but that's all up in the air at the moment, so it's very uncertain where that's going. But let's have a little look at what's happening. So we'll start off here with the synoptic map that we often show you, with the areas of high and low pressure, and we've overlaid the temperatures. Now these are the temperatures a few thousand feet up in the atmosphere. The reason being is that it's less influenced by the ground temperature, the variations that you get between the day and the night. So it gives you a bit of a clearer indication of the type of air mass that we've got over us at the time. So as you can see at the moment, we've got these colours that you can see here. They're looking yellows and even orange. It's showing some really quite mild air. In fact, it may be a little bit clearer if we put over what the temperatures are here. So it just shows cold, rather cold, mild, etc. It makes it a little bit easier, even though the colours are quite obvious, I think. So yeah, as we run through, you can see as we go through tomorrow, some very mild air moving through, and it certainly will be mild on the ground. But then as we move towards the second half of the week, the colours start to become a little bit darker here. So we've got some green colours and it's turning a little bit colder, as you can see. But then as we move through in towards Saturday and Sunday, you see these blue colours coming in from the east here. Now this is a certain sign that it will be definitely turning colder. How cold is a little bit uncertain though. It depends on the position of this area of high pressure. Now many of the models are showing it to be somewhere around Scotland. If it's a little bit further south, it will be cold during the day, but and still cold at night with some frost and fog. But it won't be quite as chilly during the day as what it would be if it was bringing in a little bit further north and bringing in some deeper cold air from the east. So it is a little bit uncertain what is going to be happening at this point, and we can actually run it through to in towards Monday too, and you can still see these bluer colours down towards the south here. So yeah, certainly looking much colder and also very settled towards next weekend and beyond. So let's have a quick run through of the next few days. You can see here, this is on Monday, that it looks really, this is on Monday should I say, this is today, and you can see that it looks really quite cloudy still at the moment, and through tonight and into tomorrow morning. I mean, it's completely overcast really, but then it starts to see the clouds break in towards tomorrow afternoon and towards the evening, so we start to see some breaks. We may see a little brightness before the end of the day, but in general tomorrow will be a rather cloudy day as a whole. So now let's have a little look at the rainfall for tomorrow. Now you can see the rain tonight as it moves through. It clears later tonight after midnight really, but then another band of rain comes in towards dawn and it spreads right across our area. I mean, this is a huge area of rainfall, so we're going to see some pretty high rainfall totals. It lasts through most of the day, and then towards the afternoon once again it clears away, so we get a few scattered showers, but the conditions do become a lot better. So I'll try not to confuse you too much here, but now this map here is showing the accumulated rainfall. So the last map shows how much rain would likely fall per hour. This shows the total overall. So this is from 1 p.m. today, and this shows that the rain has moved in at this point, and it's showing just under a millimetre of rain here, which is pretty much what happened. But then as we move through today, you can see how it's accumulating, and then through tonight and into tomorrow. So you can see these quite high rainfall totals. In fact, as we reach tomorrow afternoon, you can see down here even hints of a little bit of blue there. So we're going to be seeing 30 to 40 millimetres of rainfall over quite a wide area, possibly as high as 50, although we're thinking that may be exaggerating slightly too much, maybe going a bit over the top there. But certainly 20 to 30 millimetres very widely, 30 to 40 potentially in some areas. So it does look like there will be a lot of rain over the next 24 hours really now. So it's something worth keeping an eye on, because we do have a weather warning out for this. And this weather warning was issued early this morning, and you can see that there's going to be a lot of rainfall coming through. So it looks like 20 to 30 mil, as mentioned before, possibly as high as 40 millimetres locally. And that warning can be found on our website there, and it's got a little map there just to show some of the rainfall totals and things like that. That's for those of you who haven't actually used our warnings before. There also looks like there's going to be some very strong winds accompanying with this. And now, even though it doesn't look like it's going to be quite reaching the weather warning threshold, or at least our normal weather warning threshold, accompanied with the rain, it will still be quite problematic at times. So let's have a quick run through of those wind gusts. Now this is through tonight. We're going to be gusting 50-55 miles per hour at times. Then into tomorrow, the wind starts to pick up again in the late morning, should I say. And then into the afternoon, it really does increase. So in places, we're going to be seeing these gust strengths here. We're seeing these whites, hints of grey in there. So we're looking 50, 60 mile an hour really overall. Possibly 65 miles per hour. We're not expecting really any gusts higher than that. Although, of course, the Needles, I expect, as always, we'll see some gusts perhaps pushing 70 miles per hour. But in general, over land and most coastal areas, we'll be seeing 50 to 60 miles per hour or a little bit higher than that. And those winds stay with us right through until late afternoon, early evening, and then they clear away. And that will really be the last spell of strong winds that we have for some time. Now if we have a quick look at the temperatures for tomorrow, you can see that it's going to be a very mild day. So 12-13 degrees Celsius, very, very mild for the first part of January really. But like I said, this isn't likely to be lasting. It's going to be starting to turn much colder as time goes on. So this will be the last of the very, very mild temperatures, it would seem, for a little while. So let's move into Wednesday now. And you can see it's really not too bad to start things off. So in the morning, there's going to be a bit of cloud around, but also some sunny spells, it seems likely at the moment. Potentially some cloud increasing at times through the day with the odd shower, but in general, it doesn't look too terrible through Wednesday, really. So let's have a quick look at the rainfall map for Wednesday, and you can see these bits of rain here in the English Channel, but this is just these are just showers. Now, there could be a few heavy ones moving through at times. It won't be persistent like we've had for the last through today and tomorrow. So it will be nothing like that. It will just be showers. And as the winds come round a little bit more into the west-northwest later on in the afternoon and evening, the showers will move away back into the channel and things will start to turn drier once again. The winds on Wednesday are certainly going to be a lot lighter than what we've seen. What we're going to be seeing tomorrow. It'll still be rather breezy. Go back a frame there. Early hours of the morning, we can see gusts maybe 40-45 miles per hour for a time. But as we move through the day, really the winds start to ease ever so slightly. And they're quite gusty in the channel, but over the island itself, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, we are looking at 40, perhaps 45 miles per hour at times, but again, this isn't severe by any means. Be it, of course, unpleasant out there in the wind, especially in more exposed areas. But it's not a terrible conditions, really. Not very unusual, really. It's not unusual for the time of year. So if you have a quick look at the temperature for Wednesday, we're looking at 10, perhaps 11 degrees Celsius down here in more southern parts of the island, but generally around 10 degrees Celsius, so falling away ever so slightly. Thursday is where it starts to get a little bit more complicated. So it does seem that an area of rainfall could potentially move across southern England. Now, it's uncertain the exact track of this. Some of the models that we're using show this area of rainfall to be well to the south here. Other models, like the global model, show it to be moving across us. So it really is quite uncertain to the exact track of what it will take. So at the moment, we are expecting there to be at least some rain falling on Thursday. The exact amounts are highly uncertain, but we suspect that there'll probably be more than what is actually showing here on this map. We are suspecting that it will be probably the area of rainfall will move somewhere into this area here, we're thinking at the moment. Of course, this might be wrong, but this is well worth checking back up on in the next day or two, because we should have a little bit of a clearer indication of how far north this rain will be moving. So let's have a little look at the wind for Thursday. Now again, it's all down to how far north this little low pressure area moves that's going to bring that rain. At the moment, it looks like the winds aren't going to be too strong. They're going to be quite light and coming in from the south. However, A couple of the other models are giving us some quite breezy conditions with the same kind of direction, becoming southerly and then gradually westerly through Thursday afternoon into the evening. So like I said, once again, it's worth checking back on this. The temperature on Wednesday doesn't look too... Wednesday, should I say? Thursday. That's a bit better. The temperature on Thursday doesn't look too bad again. It looks around 10 degrees Celsius, but perhaps falling a little bit later in the day as some cooler air starts to try and push its way down from the north. So let's run through the cloud for Friday and Saturday. You can see quite a bit of cloud around coming through on Friday. Still relatively cloudy on Saturday with a few brighter spells. Now that's a sign of the drier air starting to move through, and you can see that the clouds starting to come down from a more northerly direction. So we'll move into Friday's rainfall. You can see potentially a few showery outbreaks possibly clipping the island here. Again, this is quite uncertain. So really anything this week from anything from really Thursday onwards, we are very, very unsure about, and it is going to be quite a difficult forecast to put together for as we get a bit closer to this. But it does seem at the moment, Friday especially, you could see the odd patch of rain. Saturday looks like it will be turning much drier. And as it turns drier, it will also be turning quite a bit colder with these winds coming down from the north to northwest at this point. In fact, we can just run the temperatures straight through. As you can see, it turns much colder Friday night into Saturday, and then Saturday daytime, also a much colder day. Not significantly cold at this point, temperatures 5, 6, perhaps up to 7 in the odd spot, but certainly a lot colder than what we've had recently, and potentially turning colder after Saturday as well. So there we go, really. Quite a long and complicated forecast with high levels of uncertainty during the second half of the week. But of course, we will certainly see some big changes coming up towards next weekend as it turns much colder and drier, and certainly some wet and windy weather over the next 24 to 36 hours. And we'll leave you with this rough idea of how it's looking at the moment, so with some unsettled weather at first, potentially settling down later in the week, and towards the weekend with some much colder weather. I hope that rambling all made sense, and I'm starting to lose my voice, so I'm going to leave it at that. Good night, goodbye for now.